there's this kid you work with. This little child.
He's not a child. I think that's the problem that I'm facing here is like, he's a full-fledged, like, flesh and blood adult, and yet he doesn't know shit. Now, I don't know if it's that he doesn't know shit, like, as a human, he's just inept and can't contain knowledge inside of his brain, or if I have finally, like, reached a certain age. This is how the whole conversation started. So somebody brought up Chippendales, as in, the dancers. And he's like, Chippendales? What's Chippendales? I said, really? You don't know what Chippendales is? And somebody was about to tell him. I said, no. I think he should research this on his own and go find out who the Chippendale dancers were. And then after a few minutes, I was trying to throw him a line. I was like, dude, you don't remember the Chris Farley bit, where he's dancing with Patrick Swayze? And he's like, who's Chris Farley? And I about lost my goddamn mind. I was like, really? You don't know who Chris Farley is? He's like, no. Who's that? I was like, dude, seriously. I was like, Saturday Night Live, big guy. He did silly stuff, fell through things, very obnoxious. It's like, nah, I have no idea. And finally, after like 5 minutes of trying to explain to him Chris Farley was, one of the older guys is like, all right, listen, we all get old. Give it up. And I was like, I'm not old. And then I'm like, wait, he's 25. I'm like almost 44. Maybe there is an age gap that I'm not aware of. But shouldn't everybody know who Chris Farley is?
No, I don't think so. I just think it's situational, right? Like, and it's generational. Like, we're in a time period where, like, again, he died in 1997, and so this kid's 5?
Well, no, 27. He was born in 1995.
Yeah, so 2 years before Farley passed away.
Yeah,
sure,
so, like,
but how many people do we know?
Conception of that.
No, hold on, Alan. I think I mentioned this earlier. I wasn't alive. I was actually
and I think this is
in the movie. How is this ridiculous? I was not alive. This kid was 2 when Farley died. I wasn't alive when John Bluth died. 82.
That's when he died.
May of 82. I was September. I wasn't even thought.
So, and here's the rationale. First of all, I would not put, as much as I love Chris Farley, remember, I'm Team Farley here, guys. So, as much as I love Chris Farley, not a single movie of his is Animal House or The Blues Brothers, right? Mm-hmm. Culturally, in my opinion, culturally, none of those do have the impact. They're great. I love them. I know them line by line, but culturally, they're not those things. You still see Animal House from time to time running on fucking TBS and TNT US, whatever. FX, the Blues Brothers, same thing. Like, I don't really see Tommy Boy anymore like we used to, right? What else do you see? Maybe a Beverly Hills Ninja every now and then? Maybe.
That's fair.
Right? You get what I'm saying? But my bigger point is that we're talking about time. So when you were born, we had a physical fucking medium that we watched videos and movies on. We had VHSs, and then we had we had laser discs and shit like that. We moved on to DVDs. Like, we went through at least three physical mediums of fucking video presentation. That kid has been alive for fucking MP4s.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of information that was presented to that child in his 25 years, we haven't even fucking seen in our 30 to 40. Like, I think it's logical that he would not know these things in his environment. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's Wes, what I think the argument is.
What's your point, Wes? Because I have a few. I think I'm balanced on this, unfortunately, even though it goes against my own argument.
He's 25. I know
27. He's
27. Okay, even worse. I mean, I know cool, down to earth with it 27-year-olds who know full well who Chris Farley is. So I think this kid, while Alan's argument does hold water and some weight, I do think that this kid has just a slight bit of douche in him.
Well, that's fair. I also mentioned earlier in our text string, it's upbringing, right? Like,
young man. Sorry, I say kid. Sorry, now I'm aging myself.
You might not have been exposed to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something like that. Like, you could have whack ass parents that don't show you cool things like fucking Tommy Boy. You know what I mean? Like, that would suck. Or like older brothers or younger brothers. Like, I had older brothers. Wes, you had an older brother.
Yeah.
Fucking Burr. I don't know what your sibling situation is, but sure, right?
He had an
Older brother.
older brother named Dewey.
There you go. So boom, like you had a guy who would be like, "Hey, you should fucking check this out." You know
Not
what I
my
mean?
brother. You can't watch this.
Like,
You're not allowed.
I think it makes sense to me now. Absolutely, I think it was a prime opportunity for you to pull out fucking key Tommy Boy bits or fucking SNL skits. Like,
I
you know
did.
what I mean?
This is what I did. I started when he was unaware of who Chris Farley was. I started going, "Fat guy in a little coat," and I was like,
Yeah.
"No bells ringing." And then I started doing like, "Come on, baby, let's dance," and start rubbing my nipples and jumping in circles. And I was like, "Nothing."
Yeah. See,
Keep going with that dancing bit, though. I think that's ringing something loose. We probably
like,
hear
like your other old guy coworker is like, I think he's right, and I think we need to, as like, and I'm not as old as you guys, so you guys definitely need to fucking take this mentality with your old asses. Like, you need to start, like, stopping making fun of young people for not knowing shit and being like, "Hey, youngster, oh, you don't know shit? You're an idiot, but check this out." And then fucking pass it on, because if not, then Chris Farley dies. Again.
And that's exactly what I did. I instantly I text him the entire bit of the Chippendales dancers.
Nice.
And if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, it's Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze, and they have to compete for the last position at a local Chippendales restaurant / entertainment club. And of course, Chris Farley, a little overweight in comparison to Patrick Swayze, which is why the bit's amazing, because Chris Farley can actually tear up a fucking dance floor.
Right. And
He stole the scene.
Swayze was like just coming off of a film in Roadhouse. So he's all fucking cut and chiseled and super in shape. I'd say a very underrated person or character in that bit is Kevin Nealon. So like, this isn't easy. You know, decisions like this aren't easy. We're Chippendales. Okay. Can't bend or break to pick the best candidate for the job.
Oh, by the way, the other bit I threw at him, I was like, "Haven't you ever heard anybody say you're going to end up in a van down by the river?" And he's like, "Nah, not ringing any bells." I'm like, "You got to be kidding me!" And I really felt like a piece of Americana, like you said, is lost. It's going to die. Chris Farley's going to die if we don't educate these individuals. But I started thinking about this though. How come I know all of the bygone iconic characters of the years forlorn? You know what I mean? Like when I was growing up, and you might be right about the medium, when I got up on, like, you know, we didn't have cable. So I think the lineup was like Three Stooges, then Leave It to Beaver, then I Love Lucy, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, and the list went on and on and on. I didn't realize until I was older that those shows had been long dead. I wasn't aware of what syndication was. Mm-hmm. And so I have a link to the very beginnings of sitcom television, and this kid can't even get back to 1995. It's a little odd.
Like, that's my point, is like that. I think that's the bigger thing, like, at all, like, is the speed with which technology passes, right? Like, we had remnants. Like, I was born and my fucking brothers had shit on VHS. They were 11 and 13. They had cool fucking movies, right? Like, Dazed and Confused came out when my brother fucking graduated high school. When Brian graduated high school. Like, that shit, I had the soundtrack was around on a fucking cassette tape. Like, we were able to pick shit up that had already been used and seen and was, like, not even inherently passed on. We were like, oh, what the fuck's this? Like, I remember just going down into the basement where Lou was and, like, picking up fucking Gangstar, like, on a cassette tape. And I was like, oh shit, fuck's this? Oh. And I still listen to Gangstar to this day. Like, they don't have that shit. It's like, you got 25-year-olds that, like, just have never watched TV. They just listen to fucking podcasts and fucking watch YouTube videos. Like, they don't know that television is a fucking thing.
I can remember, like, slipping into my living room. Like, they had one of those things that was like a TV tower. You know, the TV fit in the middle. You could put stuff on the top, and you had the drawers in the bottom, and like these unmarked VHSs that had like these scenarios where like secretaries and bosses would fuck each other, you know, would
Look,
have sex.
they're fucking like fossils now, bro. Like those were the fossil records. Those are the fossil records now.
Oh my god.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Just watching crazy shit.
I think I don't know if I've mentioned the story. I got up really early. Ah, man, young Wesley was 5, 6 years old, and it was like, boy, I knew I had some store bought wrestling VHSs, and I was just like, yeah, I want to watch wrestling. My parents were like, damn, just you know how to work the VHS, just go downstairs. Well, apparently, Ma and Pa Fox opted to get a little frisky with one another via some erotic entertainment on VHS and didn't remove said VHS. So I went in there and hit play and was like, that's not Hulk Hogan. That's not wrestling. And apparently I went upstairs and said something to my parents, and they're like, oh shit. And I was like, it was a man and a woman. They just kept walking into one another. They just kept bumping into each other over and over. Why would they get out of the way?
The woman kept submitting. She kept tapping out.
Dude, like, I'm telling you, some of my greatest memories are shit that I just, like, picked up around the house. Like, exactly that. We had just a bunch of VHS tapes, and I remember fucking an old fucking Johnny Depp movie called Private Resort. I think I've brought this up maybe on a previous episode. It was Johnny Depp, like, he was, like, fucking 19. It had Hector Elizondo in it, and, like, he was a shithouse kid at, like, this resort on the beach, and he was like, there's just naked boobies all over the place. Hector Elizondo's like a rich guy with a really hot wife, and fucking Johnny Depp ends up like sleeping with her, and it's hijinks across this private resort, and it's fucking phenomenal. I only have that memory because that unmarked tape was in a fucking TV shelf combo made out of wood, and I fucking watched it one day at the age of like 7.
Was this pre or post Crybaby?
When was Crybaby? When did Crybaby come out? So I'm looking at IMDb for it right now because I had to look it up real quick because I couldn't remember the name at first. And
I'm pretty sure that was
1985.
his. I'm pretty sure that was his first movie after like Friday the 13th. Like that was the first thing he was like actually cast in, not to just die in a bloody mess.
Yeah. Crybaby was 1990. Yeah, Private Resort was 1985.
Damn, long before Crybaby. That's the first time I remember him. And you know what? The 1990 movie. I was born in 1982. I remember that. God, tell your friend he sucks, coworker, whatever. He is.
Oh, look, no, I
mean,
like.
Look, I'm not saying don't ridicule him, but I'm also saying we've got to start taking the tact of like, oh fuck, I gotta teach this kid.
Yeah,
because
right.
Clearly, in 25 years, in a quarter century, everyone has failed him to this fucking moment.
Okay, well there's another divide too, which I didn't even realize was a thing.
Jaws.
Now Daryl is a black man, and I remember questioning him about like some of the stuff he hadn't seen. Like he's never seen the original Vacation with Chevy Chase. He's never seen Back to the Future. I know Alan has ideas and thoughts about Back to the Future.
That's fair.
Okay, see,
look,
you said it. He said it, white people stuff. He's like, man, those are white people movies. I said, it was the 80s. All movies were white people movies. Like, you had to get
there was stuff in the 80s, like, you know, Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. Like, there was stuff.
Your sucker.
Yeah, yes. There was stuff, especially in the 80s. Like, come on. I mean, 70s. All right, maybe we're getting a little dicey. It's a lot of blaxploitation and stuff. But
Butcher Fire, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of like Blackula, things of that nature.
Bruce Leroy.
yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, look, as a brown person that straddles both worlds, there are certainly there are movies like I remember in passing, like casually catching parts of Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and like Kelly will stop whatever the fuck she's doing and watch that movie. Like that's her shit. And like that's a white people movie. It is. Like it's great. I think it's fucking phenomenal. But that was not on play in the fucking Giannis household. And there's just movies like that. It happens.
Yeah. Culture, man.
Cultural, right? Like nobody. Look, the Medeas aren't happening at the Murr households, right?
Well, I know, and actually, I was being funny. I was like, well, what did you watch? Because he said, well, my parents, you know, they would just set me up and they'd say, here, watch this. And I said, well, what did you watch growing up? Like just Tyler Perry movies and the Wayans brothers? He's like, yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
basically. In Living Color.
okay. Oh, he brought up In Living Color like I wouldn't know what he was talking about. And I was like, motherfucker, I was there for the initial run of In Living Color. Like, I saw the first episode come fucking through. And the star of that show, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, but likewise, I mean, yes, and there were other fucking stars on that show, but
Sure, there were,
but yes, but likewise, like, I think you're the kind of guy that I would expect to have watched In Living Color, right? You like comedy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can think of a fucking name of a guy that you went to high school with right fucking now that ain't seen a goddamn minute of In Living Color.
Yeah, I can think of a lot of them.
Exactly. So you see what I'm saying? Like,
you say David Allen Greer, they think like a state senator or something like that.
I know David Allen Coe. Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, it's all opposite.
I know Tim Allen. He shows to Pamela. I know that guy.
Yeah.
Full time.
So I'm thinking I make a deal with this guy. Okay. I think I go in and I say, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go 1 for 1. I'm going to give you a classic white people movie. You give me a classic African-American movie, and I will go home. I will experience your world. You experience my world, and we'll come back and we'll have a meeting of the minds. I was more angry with him that he's never seen the original Vacation. Because I don't care who you are. That's fucking classic. That's the first time I ever heard the F word. When he's they're going through like Columbus, Ohio or something, and he's trying to get back on the freeway, and he stops and he asks that pimp, he's like, excuse me, sir, could you tell me how to get back to the freeway? And he goes, hey, fuck your mama. Thank you very much. That was the first time I heard the word. That's the first time I heard fuck. And it's the first time I think I saw my dad almost have a heart attack in the middle of the living room because I was like 8 years old.
That's a naive, to think your 8-year-old hadn't heard that word.
Yeah,
I hadn't.
Wow.
Did dad not cuss? Did your parents not cuss?
Never. My dad is. If my dad does cuss, he has never used a single one of those naughty words in front of me in my entire life.
Wow.
Yeah.
White people are wild. Middle class holes, right? Thanks for checking us out,
everyone. Yeah, if you give us a Who's Chris Farley comment, fuck you. All right.
Yeah. Alan Foxman Murr.
Yeah, Foxman.
I don't do the intros. I just felt like it was pertinent.
It was time. Hey man, look, we're gonna get into a fucking fabulous one and done. And we talked about this a little bit off the air. We didn't want to blow the lead too much and give away all of our trade secrets, but tonight's one and done is actually brought to you by Alan. But Murray,
that's right, Alan. Alan found this fucker on Instagram, and as many of you may be aware, I enjoy the shit out of some animal fights and some animal fighting scenarios. And Alan found like the greatest arena fight of all time. It's a pick 2 to defend you, and all the others will attack you, and the goal is to survive for 1 hour. I think if we play our cards right here, fellas, we can figure out a way to not only survive the hour, but take over the world in its entirety. So here's the deal, guys. If you're watching, you can see it on the screen. If you're listening, here's your options. You can have 50 hawks, 10 crocodiles, 3 brown bears, 15 wolves, 1 hunter with a rifle. I'd like to add the caveat that the hunter, whatever, this is a 1950s Western movie, unlimited ammo, 7 buffalo, 10,000 rats, 5 gorillas, 4 lions. You get to pick 2 to be on your team, and everybody else is coming full bore against you. Who do you take? Who do you kill? That is this one and done. And Alan, since this is your baby, I'd like you to pick it, and I'd like you to go with it, but I'd like to add this other caveat. The caveat is, like Star Trek with a communicator device, your team can effortlessly communicate with with Yeah. It doesn't matter if they're gorillas or hawks or wolves. You guys are on.
There's no language barrier.
You get
correct.
You get like a Dr. Doolittle pass on this. Okay.
Okay.
And
Good.
and dogs can speak monkey in this.
Yeah. In fact, this is the one time that happened.
And for me, it'll come in handy.
This was. God, we've done some fucking humdingers before, but this is tough.
I was showing coworkers this, and this was a debate on the work floor.
Yeah, good. I'm glad I disrupted production for whatever company that is, even though I know higher ups in said company, and I wish you the best.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I think it's really tough. I narrowed it down, and I'm going to give you some reasoning, and I'll try to be quick with it. I think 5 gorillas is like an automatic first round pick. Go ahead.
Because there's I just want to read have you go over them one more time, because it is an extensive list.
It's a good list, right? So you get to pick 2 to defend you.
Yeah.
Again, the others attack you, and you got to survive for an hour. It's the stipulations here. So you get 2 choices out of 50 hawks, 10 crocodiles, 3 brown bears, 15 wolves, 1 hunter with a rifle, which Murr caveated that it's like old-timey Western guy, but unlimited ammo. So solid there. 7 buffalo, which seems like a waste pick. 10,000 rats. 5 gorillas, and 4 lions.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right.
You narrowed it down.
Yeah, and we'll throw this up somewhere so you can keep an eye on it. So, yeah, I think 5 gorillas first round pick, right? They've got thumbs. We've gone over this before. Go check, just type gorilla on our YouTube page or something. You'll find us talking about gorillas plenty.
And we can assume these are all silverbacks. This isn't like a silverback and 4 females. Not that would negate too much, but we want fucking linebackers.
Yeah, we're getting everything here is straight, just primo.
Gotcha.
Well fed, fucking just good, top of the fucking cream of the crop. If we were fucking
alpha, the alphas of their genus. That's what these are.
The Jethros of the silverback community.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, gorilla's first round pick, right? And then I was kind of torn. 15 wolves at your command is fucking formidable. With 5 gorillas, I don't think you're really losing them much. 3 brown bears, I think, and 15 wolves kind of cancel each other out. So you could go either one. And then this is my dark horse pick is 10,000 rats. Okay? I watched that fucking second Suicide Squad, the better one. And rats seem like a great fucking power to be able to control. So, for fucking sake of good debate, I'm going 5 gorillas. Because, of course. But I'm going fucking 10,000 rats. Second.
Okay.
And we live in an hour. I think we could do it.
Okay. I don't hate the rats pick. I just think there's going to be obviously a lot of rat casualties.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I mean, they're sneaky. I think the Hawks are going to have a fucking field day with those rats.
It's true. That's really the hard part. I think the rats and the Crocs are the hard part.
And
right?
the lions as well, and you've given up the 15 wolves, and that's 15 wolves that have 10,000 dinners scurrying around.
But I think we're underestimating the amount of meat that 10,000 rats is, right? That's a lot.
That's true.
Animal.
Yeah,
that's a lot of animal, and I'm assuming my rats are doing some damage to the lower half of this fucking food chain. We're nibbling down buffalo real quick, right? While my gorilla is ripping wolf skulls off of fucking things. You get? So there's a little bit of tactic here. I got 5 gorillas at my disposal. These lions and wolves ain't fucking up my rats just all willy-nilly. There's an escort, and it's 5 silverback gorillas. So that's what I'm going with.
And I gotta be honest. The reason the more you say it, I think you've got 10,000 distractions running around. That's, even if it's just one rat, that's going to distract a lion or 4. That's going to distract a few buffalo. It's going to distract some of the brown bears. So even though they're maybe not doing much damage, they're giving the gorillas, because let's be honest, we ain't doing shit. we're bystanders in this situation.
We're literally just chilling. I'm standing up on a hill like a Civil War general.
Yeah.
Be all right, chaps, go kill each other.
You're stomping on rats that are 10 yards away from the action. You're just kind of like popping out, pop, 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 step, step, step. Right, gotta run and duck, run and duck.
Yeah, I would see like my thing was like absolute chaos on the battlefield. We're talking.
You picked it.
We're talking the fucking. We're talking the wilderness.
Well, maybe
here,
you
all right?
should consider getting those buffaloes. You can get buffalo back, like you're on a horse. Fucking
yeah, and like once we get a buffalo down, fucking they're done. That's useless. They're just fucking lumps in the fucking battlefield at that point. You know what I mean? So. I think I think I got a good strategy here. There are many ways to go about this, but I like this.
Wes, what do you got? You got your 50 hawks, 10 crocodiles, 3 brown bears, 15 wolves, 1 hunter, 7 buffalo, 10,000 rats, 5 gorilla, 4 lions.
So I'm assuming I'm not getting some like Daniel Day-Lewis Last of the Mohicans motherfucker, right? I'm not. Hold on, damn it.
Yeah, I thought about this a lot today because you brought it up. Like, is it Elmer Fudd or, I was being funny from last episode saying like, maybe it's Crocodile Dundee. But what if it's a John Wick? Like there is a scenario where he doesn't even need to pull the trigger. He can beat the asses with some gun butts. I would say that if you think that Daniel Day-Lewis is the best option for your rifle, then that's your rifleman.
Yeah. Hold on. Damn it. This is almost annoying more. That my camera being out of focus. There we go. Yeah. Okay. If I think Daniel Day-Lewis is the best option for my cavalry, have you seen him? That guy's like getting thrown already fucking piped up Civil War rifles and just picking off people running. I mean, that's a marksman. In that case, I think
that's fair because those things were mad inaccurate.
Yeah.
Got a point.
So
you got one hunter with the rifle and
no, Alan, do you concur? I do have Daniel Day-Lewis from Last of the Mohicans.
Yeah, you can have whoever you want. You can have fucking what's that fucking American sniper? Chris Kyle? Is that his name? You can have that guy. I don't care who you get. Fucking, you have whatever marksman you want, my friend.
Yeah, give me him and 10 Crocs.
But you still have like a lever action fucking rifle. You understand that? You didn't just give him like a fucking Barrett 50 cal, right? Like
no, I think he gets. I would go with classic like look. Lee Harvey had a good day, so like that's a good rifle.
Bolt action's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
I was giving him more leeway with the lever, but yeah, bolt's fine.
Yeah, and you get it's not like loaded in singles. It's the clip, right?
Yeah, you got a clip. Bolt, and then you still got to fucking bolt it. But yeah,
give me them in the 10 Crocs, assuming we get just a teeny tiny bit of water, like a puddle on the side.
Okay, give me your Croc strategy though. Why the crocodiles?
I just don't think out of all of these animals, I think the only thing that can really beat them are either 1 or 2 of the brown bears, and there's only 3, or some of the gorillas, which there's 5, which I think the fucking hunter just pops off a couple of them.
Ah, that's not bad. That's not a bad way of looking at it.
It's not terrible.
I mean, if you're going to give me a 17-foot West Nile croc, hell yeah, 10 of those puppies, I'll take those fuckers.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I think Alan and I are both on the same page with gorillas because I just feel like, again, the familiarity with the body makeup, how they fight. They're just we always say like if there's a guy who is just like an alpha male, we're like, man, that guy's like a fucking gorilla because the fighting style is so just ferocious. Yeah. And a silverback gorilla going up against I think a silverback could probably beat one lion on its own if he had to. So I'm definitely going with the gorillas. And then I picked the 15 wolves. And I'm taking the 15 wolves is because the wolves, to me, they have their own battle strategy. That's how they operate. They're smaller than like the brown bears, but they work together. They already work in concert. Doesn't have to be a lot of communication. I don't have to be like, hey, wolves, go over there and surround so-and-so. No, they're already doing it. That's how they fight. Now, we're going to lose a few wolves. I understand that. But I think in the grand scheme of things, if I can send the gorillas over to fight the crocs and get them out of the way first, the wolves can handle just about the rest of them. I mean, I think 15 wolves, you're going to lose about 7 to the 3 brown bears, which is going to leave me another 8 to keep going. Honestly, I feel like with the hawks, to me, aren't even a thing. I know they're going to get some scratches.
I
Maybe I
think
need
the
a
Hawks
suture
are a
kit on
fucking
me.
dark horse, man. I think the Hawks.
Yeah,
are
they're a
real
problem.
So that's where you're getting like an aerial type of attack that you don't get with any of the other, unless the hunter goes goes up in a tree, which I think the hunter you want front and center.
The only real drawback to the Hawks is like it's death by 1,000 cuts, right? Like
Yeah.
nothing on the rest of the list can really do any damage to the Hawks other than the hunter, and fucking like they can't actually kill anything but rats.
See,
you know what I'm saying?
And by the way, what I was going to tell you is if the hunter that you gave me the option to have was anything other than like, a marksman that I said, if he was like a 1950s West Virginia guy who was savvy and smart and killed some things for his family, that I wasn't going to, I was going to go with the silverbacks at that point or the gorillas, just so you know. But since you gave me motherfucking, I don't know, was it Chincoteague or whatever his name in that movie is? I think that's it. You had, I think
Might be.
Yeah. Actually, no, that's the old guy who was actually in the Mohican tribe, Chincoteague, who kills, what's his face at the end?
Mohawk.
Yeah, because he kills his son.
God, what a good goddamn movie.
I saw the band, or the band, I guess you'd call it that, the Chieftains. That was my first concert ever down at the Symphony Orchestra in Baltimore.
Nice.
We had to get like shirt and tie and stuff. We're going to go see the Chieftains. Ask your friend who's black if his family ever suggested that they go and see the Chieftains when he was ask
your black friend if he wants to go watch the Chieftains with us down at the Lyric. Nope. He does not. I heard him. He said no.
Sounds like a trap, if you ask me.
That's code. That's code.
I'll just remind him that no matter what, we picked you over them.
Right.
Terrible.
No matter how dire the circumstances were, you still won.
So none of us selected, and do we not see any value in the buffalo? Is it just like too dumb to? It's a lot of weight. It's a lot. It's like fucking 7 kind of mini machine.
What are they doing?
Stomping.
They might like gore a bear, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
buffalo even have goreable fucking antlers?
Yeah, they have goreable antlers, and they weigh like a ton and a half.
About 1,500 pounds worth of fucking just angry, pissed off.
That's
water buffalo. Sorry, I'm looking at stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, bottom line is like I look at it like this, and I remember this from like watching like I think it was like mockingbirds attack like these like giant like crows, and I was looking at it and I'm like, man, that crow is much bigger than these mockingbirds, but they're like little fighter jets. So I'm always looking at agility trumps brute strength, and I think the buffalo are just straight brute strength. Whereas like with 15 wolves, you got a bunch of agile creatures that are maybe like a third as strong as the rest of them, but they can get around to do more damage.
So do we not? Go ahead. You got something?
Hold on. Yeah, can I ask a question here? Because since we're talking about buffalo and their merits, I mean, we're all fucking red-blooded patriots here, right? So we're talking American buffalo,
you bet.
Right?
Only the
or
best
are we
here.
talking African buffalo? Because African buffalo got some fucking horns. American buffalo.
Well,
we didn't get down to the phylum of the animal. We only did the genus.
No.
So
we're going American buffalo, and the reason, again, I think Wes already picked the reason why you don't take the buffalo, because like Daniel Day-Lewis against fucking 7 buffalo. I mean, that's
literally,
we're talking Skull Island. It's over.
All right. So let me ask you this. So none of us selected 4 lions, and I'm assuming, I mean, we could say there would be 4 male territorial lions, right?
Sure.
No, lies. I mean, maybe you could say that, but I would want 4 ladies.
4 females, yeah. They're a little. They all hunt in packs.
They're a little more agile.
Yeah.
They're the hunters. They work better together.
Yeah.
Well, male lions are kind of fucking useless.
But none of us said the lions. I mean, it's just like that could be formidable though. That's not a bad pick. That's like James Worthy is your 6th man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wouldn't hate you for saying 4 lions, and I wouldn't mock you for it. But again, it's only 4, and I feel like they're more one-dimensional. I like when I looked at I thought my replacement for the wolves was going to be the lions, but I'm like, but 15 wolves. I think 4 wolves could take down 1 lion, and so you do the math, and the 15 wolves just win there.
Okay.
I mean, look, I mean,
No,
5 gorillas and 4 lions would do you some damage, but would they get you an hour? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the key, right?
Yeah.
Like, is the time. Like, you can't be having, and like I also think that 4 is just it's a low number, right? We got to be careful. You know, you accidentally in this fucking melee. So say a fucking dickbag does choose buffaloes, and fucking one buffalo like tramples 2 of your lions. You are fucked. Like, you are in a world of hurt, and you've got buffalo to deal with.
The straight up Jumanji out of the blue.
Yeah.
The bedroom
You know
door
what I mean?
open. Fucking buffalo.
Yeah. Like, I'm not seeing a buffalo like stampeding a silverback.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that silverback rip its fucking horns from its body and be like, "Well, we're done here. Thanks, buffalo." Like, I'm putting a lot of weight on my gorillas. I'm not gonna lie. I've chose 10,000 rats, and I don't think that they were really happy with my draft pick. But gorillas got to do what they got to do.
No, listen. Again, the only reason I thought we were taking a normal hunter. You gave me the option of what's his face. If it hadn't been, I would have gone 5 gorillas, 10 crocodiles, all day.
Yeah, that 10 crocodiles. I think that's probably the bigger sleeper that we left on the table. Because like 15 wolves is cool, but like Murr said, like they pack hunt. So like, are they going to be too fucking focused on one bear? While the other 2 bears are ravaging my fucking gorillas? Can't have that happening.
Hold on. So you're saying, for instance, like, okay, the caveat to this is like they also want to eat, and crocodiles are just so like focused on eating that they're not going to kill.
Well, again, you can communicate with the crocodiles. You can tell them, like, all right, move on, boys, move on. Like,
maybe they're just so stupid. They're like, eat, like, stop, like, stop eating.
This is kill zone, not eat zone. Go kill.
Yummy, yummy. Yeah, maybe they don't know. Maybe humans don't speak croc. Croc of shit. That's a croc of shit.
We sleep on the crocodiles a little bit, but again, they're kind of useless out of water. Not useless, but like
they're incredibly difficult to be killed. I think realistically they're
armored up.
A couple bears or a couple gorillas per single croc, and the number is different. It's 10 crocs. That's why I was like, man, that's a lot of pounds.
But see, like for every time I'm like, crocs are fucking incredible. They're killing machines. You don't want any part of them. I watch a fucking cheetah hop in the water, kill one, and then drag it up a fucking tree. And I'm like,
oh no, and those
are they really that fucking cool then?
Those are
like a fucking big tree cat just jumped out, got into its environment, and then pulled it out and took it to its. Like, come on.
Those are caiman. That's in South Africa.
Okay.
Those are now look,
not quite as large, I guess. I'm assuming. Yeah, caiman are smaller.
Yeah, it was like
you get yourself a Nile croc.
I'm sure I saw a crocodile.
Well, actually, the saltwater croc is the larger of the bunch, but the Nile croc, they kill more people. Now I don't that may just be Australians may be smarter. They're not like bathing and washing their clothes and fishing in the Nile River, but apparently the Nile croc's a little more temperamental.
Oh, sorry, it was not cheetahs because they're too small.
Jaguars, leopards. Yeah. Jaguar is the leopard of the Amazon.
This is definitely crocodiles. Like I'm looking at multiple videos here, so. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
As formidable as crocodiles are, tree cat fucking gets in your pool and fucks you up. We got questions.
Let me throw a couple like curveballs just to like maybe spice up the line items. You guys ready?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see here. 10 hyena.
10 hyena? What am I doing with those?
I want more. You
want more? You want a little more of the hyena?
Yeah, because we got 15 wolves, right? Hyenas are fucking smaller than wolves.
Yeah, but the bite force of the hyena.
Yeah, but it's still same. Like it's still the same tactic. You need what 3 wolves can take down requires 5 hyenas. You get what I'm saying? Like pound for pound, I need a little bit more mustard. So I need you to give me. I need 20.
Okay. All right. How about 5 Bengal tigers?
Ooh, that's fucking good.
Yeah.
They might make
5 Bengal tigers.
They might make.
I would take 5.
4.
Wait,
There's
four?
5. It's
Well,
4.5 the over under.
I trust tigers more than lions. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. I agree. I think because tigers, even though they're a little bit smaller than lions, they're more agile and they're more ferocious.
Are tigers smaller than lions?
No, see the females are smaller. The males are about the size of an average male Bengal, but the large male Bengals, only males, not females, are larger than males. But it's not like it's weird. It's
Yeah, tigers are the largest felines in the world.
Yeah, but you're talking centimeters. It's negligible. A large male lion sitting next to a large Bengal tiger is not going to be like, whoa, look at that guy. They're comparable.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But as Mer said, they're more agile. They're better with their paws.
Yeah, they're way better. I think they're way smarter.
Yeah,
and they're cooler looking.
Yeah,
He-Man Rogue
they're
One.
way cooler looking. Yeah,
so much, and there's so many of them in Cincinnati. Christ, there's one in Mer's backyard that's blind and just humps the air.
Oh, shit,
that's right.
How about let me see here. I can't. How about like one rhino, one irritable, like black. Was it? There's a white and a black nose or black tipped rhino. I think the blacks are a little more irritable.
I need two. I need two to replace anything on this list.
Yeah, I think the only one of anything that I could have is an elephant.
Elephant? Okay.
Yeah.
You need 2 hippos?
Yeah, but
yes.
Well, hippos are more ferocious than you think, but again, they've only got that one attack point, which is their mouth.
There's only one method. Yeah.
And with the elephant, even though it's big, you've seen lions take down elephants. So if I feel like 2 lions, and again, just looking at the variety of animals it's going to have to attack, that's just too one-dimensional for me. I wouldn't pick it.
Yeah, I guess.
Gotcha.
So. I take an elephant against fucking Wes's Crocs. It's just stomp.
Oh yeah,
we making wine out of this motherfucker.
You get one bull elephant. Hell yeah, I'll take that motherfucker. I don't even get a second pick.
We make crocodile wine. Just fucking stomping grapes, baby.
How about this? How about like 4, maybe 4.5's the cutoff. Big fucking Amazonian anacondas.
They're useless once they latch onto one thing. So you've got four kill shots, right?
Right.
Which is useful depending on what you're facing, right?
See, I think they're 100% on whatever they attack, but like Alan said, they're going to be distracted by whatever they're attacking. I mean, just to squeeze the air out of a lion, will it kill the lion? Yeah. But it's going to take a while, and I'm going to be, like, fighting for cover. Like, what? Like, are you done crushing his fucking windpipe yet? Please hurry the fuck up.
Right? Yeah, that's the bigger issue. Gorilla's going to be over here just being like, what the fuck, snakes? Like, I need you to pick it up. Like,
what the fuck, snakes?
over here in the trenches. Like,
yeah. I'm trying to think if there's, like, anything, like, I'm missing.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
What if you did like a pack of baboons, like 10 of them?
Oof. So I need a little.
I'm gonna need more baboons.
More. Yeah, I'm gonna need
more baboons,
like the 15 to 20 range.
Yeah,
okay.
I was going to go 20. I need 20 baboons to replace my 5 gorillas.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like only one primate allowed, right? Unless it's like a lower primate. You got like 50 spider monkeys. I guess that would be useful.
I'd take 12 chimps. I think 12 chimps would
12 chimps would be fine.
Right.
Yep.
God. Damn, the ferociousness of like a full-grown chimp.
Like gorillas and chimps, I'm talking, you're going to witness like limbs just separating from fucking other creatures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's going to be some fucking like superhero shit.
All right. How
about boys shit?
How about 4 million ants?
That's
Fuck
not
your
enough.
ants.
I don't know how much 4 million ants is, but I'm fairly certain it's not enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna need more. More ants.
Like 100 billion ants.
I don't know. What if they're like fucking fire ants or something?
Yeah, but I
Well,
still need
all I know
need
is
them in large quantities.
for no reason at all, only to make sure it was as bad as I remember. I watched Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull the other day, uh, the one with Shia LaBeouf, and there's a scene where like they're falling into like there's like these giant ant piles, and it's pretty plausible that an ant could just suffocate you. Like, millions upon millions of ants could just suffocate you and kill you within a few seconds. But that movie is as bad as he thought it was.
All right, how about 6 dolphins on land, though?
Nope, can't use them.
Can't use them. Good point. Good point.
Can't use them. I could use like if you had like a school of tuna. Like like in the other guys.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
they develop a beachhead and they use kelp. They form breathing apparatus out of kelp.
Right.
But come on, yeah. I could use a school of tuna.
All right. I think that's our one and done.
No. Lastly, I got one last one for you guys.
Okay.
For you two specifically.
Yeah.
One Bigfoot.
Yep, absolutely. Give me a Bigfoot.
Because they're real, of course, right?
If I've got one Bigfoot and 5 gorillas, I don't need to do a goddamn thing. I'm just gonna smoke cigarettes on a hill.
We're not like me and Bigfoot are gonna watch the gorillas kill stuff. We ain't even gonna. Sasquatch doesn't even need to fight.
Right. It would be entertaining to see like Daniel Day-Lewis just pull the rifle and then the gorilla would be like, "Roar!" and just fucking shove the rifle in his ass and then throw him to the side.
That's exactly how that would happen.
And then he would point to you like, hey, save a cigarette for me in a little bit. I'm going to be joining you.
I'll be there in a few minutes.
That's when you pull one out and be like,
got one for you, buddy.
This is for you.
Start tapping it on your finger.
Yeah, it's like packing it up.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a good one and done, folks. Chime in. We'll post this somewhere on one of our social media networks. It's hell of a debate. No winners, no losers. But either way, it'd be interesting to hear what you have to say. All right. Let's expand our minds. Let's call out the Shin Splints Recovery Group and Flat Earthers, Advocates for Truth. Fun Fact Friday.
Let's get to it. Your mental floss, amazing facts. And as Wes alluded to, brought to you, of course, by our good friends over at the Shin Splints Recovery Group. If you have any pain below your knee and above your ankle, make sure you find the Shin Splints Recovery Group on Facebook. And also brought to you by our new friends at the Flat Earth Science Advocates for Truth, also on Facebook. Let's hear it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Did you know, before MTV became MTV, it was almost TV1? As Robert Pittman, the network's co-creator, explained in a 1991 Los Angeles Times story, the name would have been a way to, quote, steal a leadership position by claiming that everything else was secondary. Unfortunately, some other businesses had the same idea and already claimed TV1 for themselves. TVM was available, which is what they took originally, but MTV came about because another executive producer just said it sounded catchier, and was right.
Yeah, TV1. You'd have a whole generation of people be like, TV1? The fuck's that bullshit? Like, look. And you had to rub your nipples and dance around all day.
That's it. Good night, folks.
Well, I have a cousin, and I can't remember what he named his company, but it started with an A. And I was like, well, why'd you name it that? He's like, because, and this, got to remember how many years ago this was. He's like, if you open up the phone book and you're in the construction section, I'm the first one that pops up. So it was all strategic by the alphabet. It's like, this is the first one you're going to see and probably the first one you're going to call. So it's all strategy. So to say your TV1, oh, they must be number one because it's got number one in it, man.
Okay. And that, but hey, look what happened. Now we got MTV. It's supposed to be TVM, television, music. That sounds whack. Sounds bunk.
Yeah.
Sounds busted. Music, television. Hell yeah. And then, you know what? 30 some odd years later, we get nothing but ridiculousness. 20.
Yeah, it's 8 hours of ridiculousness
Around the clock.
and then a couple Wild 'N Outs.
Yeah.
Nick Cannon can
Yeah.
pay for the kids.
And to think
And
this
an
is-
occasion,
and to think this had goddamn Viva La Bam, all the
Yeah, right.
Viva
Gave
La
us
Bam,
Jack-
Jackass had the real world when it was still somewhat real.
Yeah.
Wild Boys with Steve-O and Pontius,
Chris
That's right.
Pontius.
Tom Green
And
show,
by-
Andy Dick show. God,
Dude, and I mean, and those were just the shows they played like when they were done taking a pause on playing music videos, which YouTube, by the way, really made its success by continuing to play old music videos, which is why I don't, and I'm not trying to do this whole like music MTV don't even play music MTV anymore. All I'm saying is like there's obviously a market for music videos. Like, why doesn't MTV just like carve out 3 hours of its entire day and play music videos? I think people would come back to it.
Or just use MTV2 to play music videos.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
but no, because like we have, I don't know if it's on all cable, but like we have Hulu for like our cable, our live TV, quote unquote, and there are Vivo, like the music, the official video like things on YouTube. There are Vivo music video channels now, and like legitimately like MTV again, or like Music Choice, but for videos.
Right.
They'll
Yeah.
have like 80s hits and fucking 90s R&B jams with a Z, and it's fucking great. Like,
But
I love
if you were a up and coming musician, would you even bother with a music video?
Yeah.
You
if
would.
I was an up and
Yeah.
coming musician, yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, no, when I
Since
was still,
skeptical,
when
I
I,
was like, fuck.
because Alan, I did a stint on the old country music radio station, and at the
Nice.
time, the country music guys were like still really big into making music videos, and they were like, "Look, we have a niche audience, and if I can draw them into my song with a silly music video, they're gonna stick around and they're gonna call it in. They're gonna request it because they saw the video, they know it's out there, they know it exists, and so it's a great marketing tool." And that was the whole thing. It's like I remember Hall and Oates. I can't remember which one was talking about MTV because they were like one of the first ones to get on MTV. And they were like, yeah, I mean, we already had all these number one singles, but when we got on MTV, they just kept rolling through. And I think Hall & Oates has the most number one singles of any duo in history. So obviously it works. So I don't understand why both sides don't just get back together and rekindle this relationship.
Fucking Hall & Oates had some good music videos too.
Yeah, sure
Yeah,
did.
they did.
Sure
Yeah.
did.
A lot of furs and fucking sunglasses. It's fucking
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Oates and Garfunkel, bring them back.
By the way, if you've never watched Live from Daryl's House, like you are missing out. The CeeLo Green episode is amazing. Moving on. Did you know, while carving Abraham Lincoln's second inaugural address into the north wall of the Lincoln Memorial, the engraver accidentally etched an E instead of an F to begin the word for future. The typo was later fixed, but you can still see where the bottom part of the E was filled in. How do you fuck that up?
He was
What
probably
word did you think you were carving?
This is illiterate. Just didn't.
Nah, I think.
Ugh.
I mean, this is like one of those where he was probably like just mindlessly doing his work. You know what I mean? Like, it just you have definitely done like work tasks that I've done a million times. And been like, oh, fuck.
You think the Lincoln Memorial at that point was so inconsequential that was mindless? I mean, listen, I'm looking back.
But
at
what I do
2020.
know is that like having been on construction sites, those guys don't actually give a fuck about what they're building.
Right.
They're just there to do their jobs. So like I'm gonna assume that like fucking poor fucking semi-poor mason worker in fucking the 1800s was like another day at the fucking marble fucking table. Slapping away. He's this fucking Lincoln. I don't even know what he's talking about. But you know, he's shooting the shit. He's drinking a Monster Energy drink at fucking 7 a.m. Like, runs right through that fucker, and he's like, "Fuck, I'm gonna get
Hey,
fired
hey,
for this.
Dave. Hey, Dave, what word is this? Eucher.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be future. Fuck.
He
I know.
asks if he should drop a block on his foot to get OSHA out, so get OSHA out, just distract from it all. Like,
But you know, and
you're making up words as you went anyway. You'd be like, yeah, tell him future. I mean, I don't know. Christ, doesn't matter.
well, using Alan's logic, which I think holds water. I mean, okay, so you're making an F, but you've made the up and down line, right? And then you're starting to make the horizontal lines, and you're just like tink 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 tink. All right, there's one. Tink 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 tink. All right, there's two. Tink 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 tink. Oh fuck. And then you just yeah, and now you got to go get like the grout guy to come out and save your ass.
When was that built?
it's like the equivalent of like, I don't know. You hit like send on an email too soon or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Shit.
It opened.
My bad.
It opened in 1922. This is like the early 20s. You know, this wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Still, I mean,
Probably
you can go back and look at what's going on in the 20s, my friend. It wasn't. I know it was only 100 years ago.
Oh yeah.
But it seems like it was 1,000.
Did you hear what Babe Ruth did today? What? Ooh,
Yeah.
shit.
You know, like there was like 100 cars per fucking like 8,000 acres. Like it's very different back then. There's still a lot of horse travel in major cities.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But this definitely makes me want to go back and visit the Lincoln Memorial and look for the fuck up.
It's probably like 20 feet high. You can't get up there. They don't want you around that shit. Yeah, they don't.
I've been in there. I just didn't know to look for that.
Neither did I, but I bet you that's like way up high. John?
I'm sure it is, but I'm sure now that you know to look for it, you can see it, especially after all the weathering.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got camera phones that can zoom in pretty close.
Okay. Did you know? Not even a good run through the washer will get your underwear totally clean. Laundered undies still have as many as 10,000 living bacteria on them.
Yeah. That's believable.
What's the alternative? Run them through twice? I ain't doing that.
No,
I ain't got time for that shit. Literally.
Bacteria doesn't just like go away.
Yeah.
There's bacteria on everything.
Yeah, and we ain't
Dude,
slowing down the.
If it was like totally sanitized, the minute you took it out, bacteria. Like,
You know, there's a whole online business. I mean, I know you guys know that there's a whole online business for like used underwear, but like there's dudes that'll pay chicks extra money, like, you know, for certain times of the year. Catch my drift here. And if they leave them on for the entire week, like, can you imagine the amount of just pure filth that is being like smuggled into their lungs with every breath?
Yeah, and they're Japanese men. They probably just fall. Every breath is followed up by a pool of fucking marble light. Right.
Makes me want to get into the used panty business, man. Like, wow, what they gonna know?
Why would we do that? We'll get into the used fucking undies business.
That's what I'm talking about. But I'll wear women's panties. I ain't gonna buy men's underwear. I'll wear women's panties for a week.
Why do you have to like live under the cloak of like a woman's scent? Why can't we just do our own? You know, we'll fart in those fuckers for like 2 or 3 days. Get them out in the world. There's probably some sick bastards like, that's mid-Atlantic white boy right there. I can smell that. This guy's been watching a lot of Back to the Future.
I like it.
Definitely no Tyler Perry in his diet.
You're not wrong, but I just feel like the market's stronger with a nice lace panty.
You're right. Yeah, that's 100% true. Yeah.
Did you know? In 1997, viewers of The Simpsons had an opportunity to win a replica of the family's Springfield home that had been built with accurate colors and Duff beer in the fridge in Henderson, Nevada. The winner declined the house and took a $75,000 payout instead. It was later repainted in neutral colors and sold. The current owner reports that fans still trespass and peer into his windows.
I mean, that sucks that that's what's become of your property that you own. I didn't know that. And like, I do like the idea, like, just paint some neutral colors over here, and no one knows the difference, right? The people who lived around here saw the Simpsons home wouldn't even think twice.
Would never guess.
Nope. And you know they did that. I wonder if they had a basement. I mean, you don't have basements in Nevada, but like the Simpsons in Springfield, which is Springfield nowhere. Like they never once showed a basement, and that definitely seems like a suburban area that would, at least storage, at least cinder blocky,
unfinished,
somewhere where like Homer could go down like Tony Soprano style and talk, with the foam in the basement where the feds couldn't hear him.
I was explaining to my cousin the other day, we were talking about like, people that we were actually talking about January 6th. And I was like, you know what? The thing is like the news got so entertaining that like mouth breathers of the world got entertained by politics and are now really involved in it. And that's why you see this shit happening. What is it with super fans where there's like, what do you expect to see if you peer into another human being's home? I bet I can see Homer if I look in this guy's windows. Like, what are you going to do? What are you looking for?
I don't know. Maggie, Bart, Lisa, Santa's little helper, the grandfather rolling around.
What was the grandfather? I think it's Abraham.
Was it Abe? Abe Simpson?
I think it was Abe. I think it was Abe. Yeah. I had to think about it for a second.
The two dumb sisters of Marge's. Elma and
Patty.
I had this bottle rocket shot up my nose. Now everything tastes like fucking styrofoam.
I still quote Abe Simpson when anybody, how do you know that? I was like, I learned most of it off the back of sugar packets. Because somebody asks, how do you know so much about history? He's like, I learned most of it off the back of sugar packets. I don't even know why that's a thing. Did sugar packets at one point like contain information? I don't know. But that's what I say, and nobody gets it.
Right. That's where they first printed about the Abe Lincoln statue getting fucked up. Like, did you know? Oh man. Sugar packets. I'll just have a sugar packet or two. Chris Farley. There you go.
And finally, did you know? Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but this is one of my favorite songs of all time. But Fastball's 1998 hit, The Way, which was released 25 years ago today, was inspired by Raymond and Lena Howard, an elderly Texas couple who left their home to attend a local festival and never returned. The couple was found dead in their car 2 weeks later near Hot Springs, Arkansas. Raymond had recently had brain surgery, and Layla had been exhibiting signs of Alzheimer's. Police concluded that they had gotten lost, became disoriented, and actually accidentally drove off of the road.
Damn.
It was like a modern-day Thelma and Louise. Like someone, like exceptionally more
Thelma
weird.
And Patty.
Thelma and Patty. Just, what did you say? Brain cancer and schizophrenic or something like that?
Brain cancer and Alzheimer's, which I think you're experiencing both.
Yeah. What a power couple, these two.
Brain cancer induced Alzheimer's, I think.
Let's go to a festival. Hey,
but the song is about them. The song is about them wandering off one day, and they're like, they just don't give a shit. They're like, we packed up our bags and we started walking. We left before the sun came up that day, and then but it's a beautiful song. If you have not witnessed the song from Fastball, The Way, it's an amazing song. They're a one-hit wonder, and it's a song that's such a one-hit wonder that if you tune into any variety music station, you will hear it at least once a week.
Yeah. I like it already. I'm going to listen to it tomorrow.
Oh, you shut your whore mouth.
I'm not kidding. You. Why do you think I'm always placating or fucking with you? I'm going to listen to it.
I don't know. Maybe it's the inflection of your voice when you say things like that.
Well, no, I purposely do that because if I sound normal, you'll think I'm fucking with you.
Rather than thinking
I'm being sarcastic in order for you to think that like maybe he will. Because if I do it normally, like, no, he's fucking with me. He's fucking with me. Is that Fun Fact Friday? Are we done with facts?
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
On tonight's Before You Go, this comes out of the great city of Berlin in Germany. The Associated Press finds us. And by the way, this went through a large criteria of other potential candidates for the Middle Class Holds Bad Ass of the Month. There were two brothers who got caught robbing banks, who dressed up as old elderly men who looked really good. There was, let's see here, there was a porn star who broke his dick. And there was someone who was like prancing around on Rio de Janeiro beaches in a 7-foot dildo costume. So, I mean, just think about, I mean, this is like the year when
This is a heavy hitter.
Any of them could be Best Picture that year. This one won. A Russian prankster posing as Ukraine's ex-president Petro Poroshenko managed to contact Angela Merkel, who was at one point the German foreign ministry. Let's see her name. Damn it.
She's. I think her official title was Chancellor.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he, albeit now, this guy was making a prank phone call, managed to sift through, at least in my opinion, a series of vetting services to get to Miss Merkel's cell phone. And then it had to be done via translation, but had to have a talk with her via foreign relations. Listen, badassery comes in the forms of a lot of different things. I think a prank phone call of this magnitude warrants a Middle Class Holds Badass of the Month stamp of approval.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Especially a prank phone call that gets you in touch with a state leader.
That's right.
That's amazing.
And you talk to them. It was a 20-minute conversation.
God, what did they talk about? I wonder.
I have to think, as someone who, at least in my humble opinion, is very sound at prank phone calls, I think you've exhausted all of your mental efforts just to get her on the phone. You don't have a plan when she answers. It's like, oh boy, I got to wing it. And the talented ones can wing it. They can make sense of things.
Whatever that means.
That's it. Listen, we got a lot to talk about, don't we? Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
I think with a state leader, like even if you're getting into some serious business, you got to make a little bit of small talk up front. Maybe you talk about like the World Cup a little bit, like, and she's got to be at least somewhat in the know about some things in order to talk. You know what I mean? Like she's got to be. So yeah, I think there's a wide range of things, and then finally when you get down to brass tacks. You probably have already exhausted all things that you were going to say. But just to get somebody like that on the phone is amazing. Could you get the American president on the phone, no matter who it is?
Nope.
Is that possible?
Nope. We just talked earlier. We were vetting animals that were going to fight one another. I guarantee you, if it got down to like your state representative, that you would have a hard time getting that person on the phone.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not talking about that's state House of Reps, something like a federal level, not a state level. State level, Christ, man, he probably just kind of like, oh.
I don't know. I feel like if you try to get on the phone with a state level guy, you would get you get some prompt that would tell you like, please tell us more about your phone call, and then like 2 days later, you get like a form letter back that's pre-done. And then you would get like a date that you could call them. But yeah, then all the way up to president, I don't know if you could make that happen.
So foreign European higher ups have a less sufficient vetting process for phone calls than our local state representative here in the city.
I think so. I think so. I truly do. I believe that 100%. No. Alan, you like to combat my logic. Go ahead. Tell me I'm wrong.
Hold on. Run that back for me. What is your statement here?
He would have a harder time getting a hold of a state representative, not a federal House of Reps, but a state House of Reps level person than Miss Merkel, the former like German. It's not even prime minister.
I'm saying that the ability to get them on the phone for an actual one-on-one phone call is equal. That's my take. State representative in the United States is equal to getting Angela Merkel on the phone in Germany.
And state rep, like, let me just be clear. We're saying state representative like down in Annapolis,
like Andy Harris.
They go to Annapolis.
No, that's a congressman in fucking in DC. Is
Yeah.
that what we're saying?
I was saying the ones
Like that's a U.S. congressman, not a state fucking congressman. Like, do we
Yeah.
understand that?
Well, I don't know any of my state representatives, so
Okay. Well, that's why I was just asking for clarity because like your state representative is like the bitch that sits on the school board. Fucking like you can go fucking see her tomorrow. Like
no, we're talking
but,
about like I guess we're talking about.
It's different.
I guess we're talking about somebody who goes like to Annapolis to sit in like the state legislative hall.
So those people, like your son plays soccer with them, like with their children. Like they're not that hard to get a hold of. Like, you know what I mean? They run locally. Like they usually live near you. Like those people, I think you absolutely get a hold of.
You could call them as a fire chief and say that you sprung a leak somewhere, and the fire hose just keeps shooting out, and they'll be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, like the stay-at-home
Actually,
mom.
I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna make that call.
You know, like the stay-at-home mom that won like the third seat in Allegheny County. I guarantee she ain't doing shit. She's just you could see her whenever. She's just around, hanging out. She like makes cookies for other representatives doing actual work and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these people are attainable. Like,
okay, well, then let's say it this way. What's the lowest level American representative that you think you could prank phone call? I mean, because I again, you ain't getting through the president. We're all in agreement on that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like you could get
even George W. Bush.
You could get a congressman that's like not important. You know what I mean? That doesn't sit on any committee. He's just a fucking regular ass congressman.
Yeah.
Like you could get one of those because they're like, hey, you want to talk to me? Because they want to feel important.
Okay, fair enough.
I feel like
it's impossible to get to like state senators. Like, you know what I mean? Those motherfuckers are really hard. So the higher up the food chain you get, congressmen are easier to get to than senators, and then you can just keep climbing.
I feel like you could if you had the plausible backstory and the savviness like this prankster had. I think you could get a governor, state governor.
Oh yeah, I think so.
I think you could get right now. Was it Westmore? Christ, yeah. Larry Hogan would have been like, "Fuck you," but Westmore would be like, "Oh, what do you got? What do you got for me? Yeah. Oh, young man, I want to listen to you. I want to hear your story." Yeah,
I think you could get a governor. I think, like I said, I think once they get to DC, it becomes a little harder.
Yeah,
and then like for congressmen, there's a shit ton of them, right? So it's just like, are you trying to get a hold of a shitty one, or are you trying to get a hold of like Marjorie Taylor Greene? You probably ain't getting a hold of MTG. She's got a lot of fucking appearances and shit.
Yeah,
she's got a lot of Civil War to stoke.
You're saying like I'm totally making
this up. You could get a hold of fucking. Like, even that George Santos guy in New York, like, they could get a hold of, they showed up to his office and shit. He was like, I'm not coming out. There's a mob of you. Like, you can get a hold of that fucking guy because nobody cares about that guy. Like,
you get like a Tim Pearsall in northern North Dakota.
Yeah.
Just download an app, get a North Dakota fucking area code. Well, Mr. Pearsall, look, me and my buddies have been talking about a certain survival situation. It involves a bunch of crocodiles, bears, wolves, ants, and what do you think? We need your vote. Well, anywho, middle class holes, badass of the goddamn month. Hey, listen, young man or old man. I don't want to discriminate. Could be a young lady. You keep doing you. You keep on rocking in the fucking free world. You get more of these goddamn these Eastern European pencil movers and strollers, whatever, on the phone, and you fuck with them. Right. You make their lives hell.
That's right.
Yeah. What do you got, Alan?
I don't know.
I thought you were looking up something good.
Sorry, I was looking at something.
Districts of North Dakota. Anyway,
no, I was looking at seniority in U.S. Congress. Like, you can get a hold of these motherfuckers. Nobody knows who fucking Eric Sorensen is out of Illinois. You can call that guy up. He's answering the phone right now.
Yeah, that guy played basketball down in Lower Prairie U, Division III.
Like, when you look when you look at Hillary Schulten's fucking website, it's her home number. You just call her.
Wow.
Like, nobody gives a shit about that U.S. Congresswoman.
I'm about to pencil in a line right now.
Nobody cares.
I'm about to phone a friend.
They're picking up the receiver. They're picking up phantom phone rings. They're like, oh, I thought somebody was there.
But you scroll up the list, like, well, you ain't getting fucking, like, Kevin McCarthy's a congressman. You ain't getting the Speaker of the House.
No.
You know what I mean?
You're not getting Marco Rubio. You're not getting Rubio's a senator. Sorry,
you might get Rubio nowadays. He ain't got much going on, but like, you ain't getting Ted Cruz.
No,
I don't know. I was getting ready to bring up Ted Cruz. Like, you ain't heard a lot of Ted Cruz lately. Ted Cruz might be angling for a phone call.
Well, maybe
get someone with a good Trump accent. I'm sure he'd pick up. Teddy boy, how you doing? Oh.
Only if you insult his wife.
That's right. How's your wife doing?
Oh, she's so fat.
How's that fat pig doing? He's like, oh, she's wonderful.
You still support me, right? Right?
Well, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Hey, a very heartfelt and non-predicted death to one of Hollywood's greats, Richard Belzer. Homicide, Life and Times of Law and Order and Special Victim Units. He was in a slew of other shit. Actually, Saturday Night Live, early years.
Yeah.
The Groove Tube, 1974 is where he got its start. I have a really good Richard Belzer story, but I guess, I don't know. Cool. Rest in peace, man. I'm not a big SVU fan, but I understand a lot of people are.
I like it here and there. Like, it's hit or miss, but I'll tell you what I was telling Kelly actually when we heard about it. That I was like, one of my favorite things was, and I think might have brought this up to you guys before, was he was on, because like people don't know he was a comedian and shit, right? So they just think of Munch, and he was on The Green Room with Paul Provenza. Remember that show? Where like some guys would sit, it was like all comedians, and they would sit on a couple of couches in like the round and fucking just shoot the shit for like an hour or two. Do you guys recall this at all?
No.
Really? It was. I think it was on HBO. Might have been on HBO. Like, look it up. It's called The Green Room.
Okay.
But anyway, he guested on there, and it was, I forget. I got to look up who was with him on there. Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. And it was Richard Belzer, Janine Garofalo, Dave Attell, Doug Stanhope, and Glenn Wool.
Wow.
And it was phenomenal, like fucking phenomenal. And a lot of them were picking his brain, like, because he'd been around the game for a long time. You know what I mean? So it was super interesting to see those guys look at him that way. And you guys, I think, would appreciate it.
Okay.
So rest in peace, Richard Belzer.
Yeah. Aside from the fact that he hosted a short-lived Lifetime talk show called Hot Properties, where Hulk Hogan choked him out, and they thought he was kidding around. It's actually a really good. It was from the book Private Parts, written by Howard Stern, that was later adapted into a movie, where he said in the 80s Stern had a cult audience. He was known, but again, you're talking about like FM, probably what we had alluded to earlier about a lost art or a lost medium, or you can't do it. Like, if you were to talk to this kid that you alluded to or brought up earlier, Murr, it's like, like a major FM talk show host. Like, wait, what are you talking about? We grew up with that. But Murr gets invited to Hollywood Squares. No one knows who he is. Richard Belzer is in one of the other squares. And Stern later on realized that they only paid per appearance, not per what your time on screen was, because they had to fill a half-hour thing. They would usually like edit out a lot of stuff, and anytime one of the contestants called Richard Belzer for an answer, he would go, is it Woody Anderson getting whipped cream licked out of his ass by male prostitutes? Every time. God bless you. When I read that at Young Wesley, I thought it was hilarious. Yeah.
Well, I do remember the Hulk Hogan the sleeper hold. I remember that. That was my first introduction to the guy. But the thing I found most fascinating, I'm trying to scroll through the story to find it. Like, his last words, what were they? Fuck you, motherfucker.
That were his last words.
That's why I sent you the story in the first place.
Oh, well, it's something else. I don't know. Christ. You said a lot of stuff I don't look at. I don't know.
I know. I can't find it, and that's the whole reason I sent the story. It was like, anyway, his last words apparently were like, "Fuck you, motherfucker," and apparently he was an atheist. It makes me wonder, who was he talking to? It's a fascinating way to go out. One, come on, like, what was it? John Adams' last words were like, "And Jefferson prevails," even though Thomas Jefferson had died, which makes John Adams look like a bitch because like his rival. You know, that he wasted his last words on a rival who had already passed, and he was unaware of it. But for Richard Belzer to say, "Fuck you, motherfucker," like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. And again, who is he speaking to? Where's his mind wandering to? Is he actually physically seeing something, or is it all just a hallucination? It's the guy did a lot in his life, and may he now rest in some sort of peace. I thought he was dying for years. I'm surprised he made it this far.
So looked like it. All right, Alan, tell all the Richard Belzer fans and everyone who thinks that 1,000 rats and a hunter could get them out of that situation earlier, where they can find the middle class holes.
1,000 rats and a hunter, that's a risky game, but I like it. So you can find us on all your favorite social media platforms. We're at MDL Class Holes on Instagram and Twitter. We're the Middle Class Holes on Facebook and TikTok. And, of course, you can catch us for your listening pleasures on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Fuck emails. They're dead to us.
That's right. This week, a couple of comments that were worth mentioning, 3 of which come from the drone birds on YouTube. I don't know if you guys remember this. We were discussing whether or not pigeons were drones. Smash Paul says BB guns solve this question. Get what he's saying. You shoot it with the BB gun, then you dissect it, right?
Well, I just know growing up in the country where, you know, we all had BB guns. Like we shot a lot of birds. They bled real blood.
You're talking about today. Today, back then, I got it. Sylvie Fox says, well, I don't know. Some places have hidden cameras that are shaped like pigeons and move their head around, but only real birds can shit on your car.
Unless the bird shit is a front. Right?
Yeah, I mean, makes you think. You know, there's a spigot.
Yeah, well, like maybe it's getting rid of the corrosive acids that have built up in its, you know, internalized lithium-ion system. You know, you don't want a battery to go bad. You've seen what happens when a battery corrodes inside of your, I don't know, your remote control at home. Your remote control stops working. So maybe bird shit is just corrosive acids that are being unleashed from these bird drones.
Yeah, logical. Alan, right?
Thank you.
Sounds good to me.
Sound logic. Yeah. This is Gerland Wallenstein says, pigeons don't eat carrots, though, because I had said I threw a pigeon a carrot on my rooftop deck. He didn't eat it, and I found that to be highly suspicious. I did not know that. I did not know that carrots don't eat.
That.
Carrots don't eat pigeons.
Gerland Stander, or whatever your name was.
Gerland Wallenstein.
Gherkin Pickles.
So next comes via Paul Hogan, top 100 on Instagram. Murr made the argument that Paul Hogan was a top 100, would you say, like, character of all time cinema, like noticeable.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%. Gotcha. Syke Tyson says Napoleon Dynamite has no less than 4 iconic characters. Dundee is iconic. I then said top 100 ? They responded, yes, there's room in the top 100 for him. Probably ranks somewhere between 85 and 95.
100% agree with every assessment made there.
I'll allow that. Yep.
I'm fine with that. I can live with that. Okay, fair enough.
I also agree hold on. Napoleon Dynamite might have like 4 or 5.
He said 4.
4?
Yeah. Uncle Rico, Napoleon himself.
Yeah.
The brother. And
the
Pedro.
Brother, absolutely.
Yeah, and then what's his face for mayor or for class president?
Yeah, Pedro.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, you could make fucking arguments for other ones too in that movie, I think.
But he said no less than. So, I mean, yeah you could make arguments. I gotcha. Yeah.
Right. I just want to let you guys know that I'm on Amazon right now, and I can buy a bird drone for $25.
Yeah, buy that. Yeah. I'll get the glasses stuff that we talked about to go infiltrate certain societies that we yapped about. and then you get the Bergeron.
And I might send you all one for Christmas.
You bet. Last, and hey, listen, this really doesn't have any type of specific comment. It's just it is specific, but it brought a little bit of peace to my heart and a smile to my face. This is Call the General on YouTube. This is from way back. Alan, this is remember where we were talking about the guy who was getting sued because he gave his girlfriend an STD in the car.
Oh, yeah.
She sued Geico, and there was a $5 million payout. And I said, do his premiums go up? And you said, nah, that motherfucker's dropped. He best call the general.
Yes.
I'll answer that one. Brian Belgardi says, stupid topic, hilarious dialogue. Thanks, fellas.
Appreciate it,
man. That's precisely what we're after.
We're here to turn garbage into fucking gold. Gertie or whatever the fuck. I was not listening to your name.
Brian Belgardi.
Brian Delgarde. Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah. That's Murr, that's all we want, right?
That is all I want.
Yeah.
That makes my heart warm.
Yeah. Well,
trust me, we were probably like, "Whoa, this is a rough topic. Let's how we gonna make this funny."
We got to bring a friend on who's a lawyer to spice things up.
Hey guys, we're talking about insurance tonight. It'll be a fucking barn burner.
This is going to get tens and tens of views. Oh, all right. Well, folks, hey, listen. Richard Bell's a rest in peace, and everyone else. Shit, man.
Yeah. Green Room, check it out.
Yeah, check out the Green Room. You're right.
Yeah. Check it out.
And I just want to say that I think somebody's on the cusp of getting another Deadpool, if we will, selection because Jimmy Carter isn't he on his way out?
Yeah.
And somebody wait. Can you? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but did we ever talk about Burt Bacharach?
Yes, but Bacharach wasn't one of your three. He was I think
he was honorable mention.
Yeah. That's okay. That's fine. We can do that.
I would accept a half a point for an honorable mention.
Half point.
I was just I don't even need a point. I just wanted to talk about it because I pulled it out of my asshole, and you guys were like, "Who the fuck is that?" And I was like, "Bam, dead."
You pulled it out of your Burt Bacharach asshole.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
God, I would take Liz Hurley on the top of a double-decker bus.
Yeah, right.
All right. Yeah. And have her turn into a fembot. Good night, everybody.